Like many CAD programs, the PDF file can support exported layers as a way of organizing content in a document. With Revu, you can move markups into layers, which is ideal for separating markups and deferring functions or disciplines. In the context of takeoffs and estimation layers, it is permissible to assign marks of similar material types, allowing them to be referred to individually if necessary. Or add a content layer, like a plan for another floor, for comparison. When you do this, you can toggle layers on and off to see markups of a specific type independently, and you can use the layer assignment as an additional level of organization for those markups when filtering and creating summaries. In this document, there are takeoffs for flooring, finishes, and glazing. From the markup list, you can hide and filter markups, but if you want to highlight a specific type of markup quickly, you're going to want to use layers. Open up the layer panel. If you don't see the layer icon, right-click on Panel Access and select Layers. However, it should be available in the Quantities Takeoff profile. At the top, you'll see the functions available for layers. You can create a new layer, add a layer from a page, or use the Save a Layer configuration if you'll be using similar layouts for multiple projects. Notice the 4 columns of information in the Layers panel as well. The layer name can be edited by double-clicking on the name, and the visibility toggle works in the same way as a markup list. The layer prevents the visibility from changing, as well as stops the layer from being adjusted outside the Properties dialog. The Print and Export checkbox determines whether or not that the layer will be included when you export or print that document, so be sure to check that before you print. First things first, you want to add a new layer. Click on Add New Layer. Note that you can choose to add a layer before or after a selected layer if it exists. Since there isn't any, click Add Before option. Enter a name for the layer, in this case flooring, and click OK. This creates an empty layer. With the layer created, you can right-click on the markup and assign it to the layer. However, since there are several markups, it would be best to use the markup list. Click on the markup list icon and ensure that the layer column is visible by clicking on the markup list menu, clicking on the columns, and checking layers. Since these markups have their own disciplines as their subject, sort them by subject so they're all together. Select all the markups with the subject flooring by holding down the Shift key and selecting those markups. Right-click the selected group, select the layer, and then click on the flooring to add it to that layer. Notice that the layer column now has a name of a layer. It is on and has a visibility toggle. If you click on just one of the toggles, it turns the entire layer on or off. Go ahead and create 2 more layers, naming them Finishes and Glazing. And apply the other marks to the finishes. Be sure to add each legend to its appropriate layer. You also have the option to add a layer from a page. Consider adding a layer to compare where the same items would appear on 2 similar but not identical floors to takeoffs in another process, like clash detection on the same document by adding the other plan. Go to Add a Layer from a page and select the document to add as a layer. The Add Layer dialog box appears, and you can set options for features such as appearance, including changing the color to highlight differences in location. This is, in fact, exactly how Overlay Pages features works. Click OK, and the content is added to the page. You can then do comparisons or additional takeoffs that can be applied to that layer. Using these strategies, you can keep your related markups organized and separated if necessary.